Once upon a time, there was a chick named Snowy White. She was the most beautiful black woman in the land. But she was also very crazy. Her whole house from top to bottom was white. White walls, white furniture, dishes, everything. All of her clothes were white. Her horse was white. Her slaves were white. Hey, I know it's really effed up. I'm not saying it's right. You know, different time, different land, different story. Hey, I just narrate the story, okay? Don't get on me. She even had her lawn painted white. Her friggin' lawn. But if any spot of dirt or dust appeared at all on Snowy White's white possessions, she would go on a rampage, killing everyone in her path, which ironically just made more of a mess of the whiteness of her surroundings. But that's what I'm saying. This chick was crazy. So the people of the land called her Snowy White, although her real name is Bally Terry. One day, a couple passed through this land. They were lost. They stopped by a property of all whiteness. That really should have been a warning sign from to begin with, but, you know, people are stupid. They got out of the car, walked up to the house, passing by the white lawn, the white trees, and the slaves. They were walking through the dirt from their shoes, was trailing on the lawn. When the slaves realized this, they saw that dirt on the lawn, right? They tried to motion these strangers to leave. They were really, really lost and, stubborn and just really, just stupid. So they proceeded to the front door. They knocked on the front door and a slave opened the door, right? Immediately, this slave noticed the mess that this couple was dragged through the lawn. They tried aggressively to get this couple to leave. They tried, get out of here. They tried to push him away, but no, it was too late. Snowy White walked to the door. She stepped outside, completely ignoring this couple, and let out a shriek that would peel the paint off of a car. Snowy White blacked out. When Snowy White awoke, everybody around her was dead. The couple was slaughtered, and even the slaves were full of holes. There was an axe in one of Snowy White's hands and an Uzi in the other. She was sitting in a pool of blood. Snowy White then got up and in a carefree manner walked into the house. She picked up the phone, and you know what she did? She began ordering another huge batch of new slaves. These slaves would fix up her property and return it to its previous whiteness. This news got to the people of the land, and they were like, we can't let this keep on happening. This is her fourth bloody rampage. This month, she must be stopped. They all agreed. They spent the rest of the night planning on how to stop her and came up with nothing. The end. I'm just kidding. That ain't the end. They remembered a story of another crazy woman named Red Riding who had a similar problem, or illness, or whatever you want to call it. She was stopped by a group who called themselves the 7 Praphitz. The people of the land put it to a vote and decided to hire these men to do this deed in stopping Snowy White once and for all. The 7 Praphitz showed up at Snowy White's house. Each of them had a unique ability for bringing order to chaos such as this. First one's name was Lazy. Lazy was a great storyteller. Lazy would sit down and tell you a story, and it's just like you watching TV, and you just lose all motivation to do anything in life. You lose motivation to go to work, to pay your bills, to take care of your family, to eat, to sleep. You just want to watch and you listen to Lazy all day and all night long. The next prophet was Fatty, a gifted cook. Man, he was gifted. The smell of his food would draw anyone near, and you just kept eating and eating and eating. Even if you were full, you would eat some more. Didn't matter. Fatty had a gift. Next prophet's name was Greedy. Greedy was unafraid to step on people, to give her whatever he wants. He just step on it. See some more money on that side, he'll just step on it. Even if you were his friend, you could be his blood. You could be his own mama. Step on it. Get what he needed. Greedy. Next prophet's name was Lusty. can't really discuss Lusty's power. It'd just be too weird. I'll leave it to your imagination what Lusty's power could be. We'll move on. The next prophet's name was Slappy. He just went around and he go on his own rampage. It's kind of like Snowy White's rampage. Maybe the only one who can match Snowy White's rage. He would just go on slapping rampage. Just slap you upside the head, slap you in the mouth, just knock you aside, just slap, 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 slap. The next prophet's name was Envy, the transgender. Her power was just making both sexes envious of her, his, whatever, beauty. The last prophet's name was Bill. Bill didn't really have any powers. Bill's like that person in the group, in your social group, doesn't really contribute anything. The person in your organization doesn't really do nothing. But people like him enough, what I'm saying, they pity him because he's got nothing to contribute. So they just kind of let him hang out and be around the group, participate. That's Bill. He's got the power of gaining pity. They didn't waste any time. Slappy and Greedy went to work. They went to work on these slaves. Slappy was slapping them from side to side. Whack, whack, whack. Fueled by his hatred of slavery. Then when he realized that slapping slaves due to his hatred of slavery made no sense, he became more and more angry. And so he started shooting. Greedy, he was stepping on slaves to get their money. Stepping on them. But when realizing that slaves are slaves and so make no money, he began shooting the slaves too. Don't ask me, I know it don't make no sense. It's just, the 7 prophets, man, they do what they want. They do what they want. I don't know. Snow White, excuse me, Snowy White. Snow White's a different character. Snowy White came out of the house enraged at what she saw. Not over the slaves, but of the bloody mess that these prophets were causing. She called out her slaves from within the house to attack the prophets. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the slaves that were in the house of Snowy White were trained in the art of ninjutsu. There was a war cry let out by these martial art fighting slaves. That's when Lazy went to work, telling the tales of shows like Jersey Shore. And they were enchanted by this story. This kept the slaves stupefied for a while. A long while. Long enough for Fatty to do his thing. Fatty got in there and he cooked up the slaves some pizza. We got him some beer, made him some beer. And the slaves, they just kept constantly consuming more and more pizza, more and more beer, more and more pizza, more and more beer. They got full, but they just kept on consuming more and more pizza, more and more beer. Listening to varieties of stories that Lazy would tell. They were just like all other kind of reality show-like stories. She kept eating and laughing, being lazy. The slaves ate, and they ate, and they ate, and they ate, until, boom! They all exploded in a glorious array of blood, bile, and guts. Now it was just Snowy White and the 7 prophets. They stared each other down for what seemed to be like hours. That's when Snowy White let out her infamous shriek again. Her eyes turned as black as coal. Then she pulled out a flamethrower, started firing away. 7 prophets weren't really used to being on the defensive. They were usually attacked first, in a surprise type of fashion, and so they wouldn't have to defend themselves. So, needless to say, they were in trouble. Lazy was just too lazy to run away, so of course he got toasted. Fatty was too damn fat to get out of the way, so he got toasted. And Greedy, Greedy, on a side note, Greedy had already left. At this point, he was already left his friends to pursue more money somewhere else. That bum. People like that. So we're down to just 4 prophets. Fortunately, Snowy was out of ammo. Lusty said, "I got this. Again, I will spare you. You can just imagine what Lusty's power was, or what Lusty could have done, against, toward, or I'll just spare you, okay? We'll just say that Lusty failed, and, he spontaneously combusted. Boom! Then Bill stood up, and he said, "I got this." But that didn't go too well. Slappy and Envy started laughing, at Bill, their own teammate. It's a shame, I know. Started laughing at him, then they started berating him, ridiculing him. And be like, Bill, you got nothing. You have no powers. Why are you even here? Nothing. You contribute nothing. Nothing. Bill ran away crying like the worthless puss that he is. Let that be a lesson to all you people out there who contribute nothing to society. Nothing to society. I don't know what that lesson is, but it's there. You see it. Start contributing something. Snowy White took a gander at envy and became very confused. What are you? She asked. Why are you? She asked. People didn't know this about Snowy, but Snowy White was also a born-again Christian. So naturally they got into a heated debate. It did not end well. Snowy White's argument was tainted by ignorance and hypocrisy, while envy was too bitter and self-centered in her beliefs to hear anything that Snowy White had to say, whether it was good or bad. Envy eventually said, screw this mission, and ran off to marry some other transgender. And they started some sort of city where transgenders reign. Yes. So now it's just Snowy and Slappy. It's the perfect time for a commercial break, I think. Brought to you by shameless promotional studios of Praphit. Cue the Mac.
Hear the shouts of the crowd, what this is about. Tom King, Mac is center without any doubt. His hair white styling and looking so sharp that you got too close, it probably cut you apart. Oh, shut up, fumbling, stay in the shades. Like the sun, no brighten everyone's day. He's only missing a pimp hat. You might think you're boss, but everyone was bow down to the Mac. Even more impressive, but his dance moves like he's part of the beat, moving right through you. Every move you can think, pop and lock the swing. Contemporary to tap jazz to even my shing. Like he invented the art of dance. He been doing this thing cause he is the man. Come on, combat the king. To make him step on your pride with his rhyming. His rapper cutting you to teach you something. I'm telling you, everyone wants to be like the king. The king of party dance rap tracks, admit it. Everyone wants to be just like the man. So fellas beware, hold on to your girl. If you're not careful, they won't get lost in the swirl. Expecting you to be like him, bright as a pearl. Say it again, beat it like him, bright as a pearl. It's epidemic, take you back. Remember that you're whacked into tackle, step to the Mac. The king of groove and dance rap tracks, he's the Mac. The Mac. Come on now. Pulse of the Mac as he steps into place. And your mind starts to sweat and your heart starts to race. To the vibe of the beats and the vibe of the bass. And you know you gotta see the Mac face to face. And you know you gotta see the Mac face to face. So fellas beware, hold on to your girl. If you're not careful, they won't get lost in the swirl. Expecting you to be like him, bright as a pearl. Say it again, beat is like him, bright as a pearl. Let's have a demo, take you back. Remember that you're whacked into tap and step to the Mac. The king of groove and dance rap tracks, he's the Mac. The Mac. Take him home.
That was fantastic. Wouldn't you say? Slappy thought so. After hearing that amazing song from Praphit, Slappy realized, why should we be fighting each other? Why should I be fighting with this beautiful Snowy? Slappy said, you know what, Snowy White? Sure, you're an angry, violent, crazy person. But I'm also an angry, violent, crazy person. Let's stop all this fighting. Let's join forces in deeds and vision, passion. Let's join forces and marry one another and make beautiful, angry, violent, crazy children together. What do you think about that, Snowy White? What do you think about that? Snowy White replied, What do I think about that? Snowy White looked up in the sky with a big smile on her face. Just thought about it. Could the one who brought so much blood to her property and ruined the property so much also be the love of her life? Could she finally find someone to be happy and kill with? She thought about some more. She turned her eyes squarely on Slappy, looked at him and said, "Nah." Then she blew Slappy's head off with a Sawn-off shotgun. After that, she, in a carefree manner, walked into the house, picked up the phone, and you know what she did? Once again, she began to order more slaves to restore her property to its previous whitely glory. She then turned to the camera and said, "Don't be screwing around with crazy, ignorant, violent people. We'll destroy this world yet." And that, my friends, that is the end. Or is it?